So I'm going to read the Dickinson poem, Much Madness is Divinest Sense. And I'm going to ask the aforementioned Allie, Jake, Dave, and Kanar to just respond to anything, a micro comment in response to this amazing poem. Okay? So, ModPo TAs have a copy because I sent this out earlier, but even if you don't, you can hear it. And ModPo people who are watching this webcast can either hear it and try to follow along, or can go to ModPo Plus to find it, or you can go to the Poetry Foundation website and find it, Much Madness. Here it is. Much madness is divinest sense to a discerning eye. Much sense, the starkest madness. 'Tis the majority in this, as all prevail. Assent, and you are sane. Demur, you're straightway dangerous and handled with a chain. That is chilling at the end, and handled with a chain. My goodness. Okay, so Allie, Jake, Dave, Kanar, quick thoughts about this Dickinson poem. Allie first.
Amazing. I am new to this poem, and one thing that strikes me is that in the flip, that she's kind of almost like seesawing between sense and madness. I feel like there's a direct line to tell all the truth and tell its slant.
Yes.
And so that's just something I'm thinking about.
I love that. That's great. It's a great pair for that poem. Jake, quick thought on this?
So, Al, you mentioned there is a strand on ModPo Plus forums and a discussion of this poem, which is really, really good, and I would encourage everybody to take a look.
And the video that goes with it, Jake, where's that video from?
The video that we made in the car.
We were in a car, a rental car in San Francisco, and we did a 5 or 6 minute discussion of this poem in the back seat of the car with Anna.
That's much madness, especially
that is much
given that.
With Zach, who was filming it. I hope he wasn't driving, but he filmed it, from the front seat.
I think there was a division of labor there with Chris and Zach driving. I don't know who was. Yeah, it was all a blur of the peninsula and the discussion. Yes, but on the forums there is a question from Riham, an excellent question about the word divinest. Like, what's the difference between divinest and like just run-of-the-mill plain divine? And I think that's worth pondering there. And one way to look at it is maybe like divinest. We're talking about like almost like mystical kind of divinest, not merely religious.
I love it.
Not merely observant, but the madness, what may seem like madness, like that's divinest, and poets' version of the mystical. That's much madness. And other ways, maybe just in Dickinsonian vision, like to call something divine and other things not, like that wouldn't work. There's divine and then there's divinest.
Oh my God, this is for many of us, including Jake, the high holies, and I just want everybody to know who cares about holiness that he used the phrase run-of-the-mill, plain divine. I also say there's a pun in there, divinest with discerning. So divining something is to get to the bottom of it, right? So divinest, wow, this is complicated stuff. Thank you, Jake. Dave, Poplar, and then Kanar, quickly in response to this Dickinson poem. Dave, your thought?
Love the line, assent and you are sane. And it reminds me of something that Kate just said that was so cool, I had to write it down. She referred to poetry as resistance to consensual reality. And I think that sums it up so beautifully. And this poem sums that up so perfectly.
Yay, Dave, Poplar, and Kate. That was fantastic. Gosh, I'm learning a lot. Kanar, last thought on this poem before we're going to take a quick call from somebody.
Yeah, I was actually right in there with Kate and David. I'm kind of thinking about how poetry does not follow the logic of common sense, including sort of how one might or might not want to consent to a particular reality. But that brought me to madness, which I think in this poem is operating in a lot of ways as this kind of uncommon sense. And, you know, maybe we can think there too about the poet's imperative to sort of demur, right? To refuse, to sort of not fall into subjection to this kind of commonsensical sense of reality.
Beautiful. Thank you.